What's going on, Bulls fans? Before we dive into the latest around Buddy Hield, I got a question for you guys. If you guys want some live watch parties here on the channel, where we'll go live for the game, I'll do some live play-by-play, have a couple beers as well. I want you guys to like today's video. It is my favorite part of what we do here at Chat Sports. This is the live watch parties. It's going to be me and you guys hanging out, live reacting to the Bulls games, and I want to go live for the first preseason game. So if you guys want that, show me. Like today's video. All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome into the Bulls Report. My name is Patrick Seatman. Coming up on today's show, we're going to be discussing the possibility of the Bulls trading for shooter Buddy Hield. Buddy Hield, first off, is one of my favorite players in the game. I think he's got one of the more pure jump shots in the NBA, and I love what he's done, specifically on the offensive side of the floor throughout his NBA career. But you may be asking, why trade for Buddy Hield? Well, it turns out that Buddy Hield might be wanting out of Indiana. This is what Shams tweeted out a couple of days ago. He said after contract extension negotiations stalled out, Buddy Hield and the Indiana Pacers have started dialogue to work on finding a potential trade, league sources said. So it's definitely going to get sticky there in Indiana. And maybe the Bulls could be looking at Buddy Hield and be like, you know what? Maybe that's the missing piece that this team needs. But overall, throughout his NBA career, he is one of the best shooters that we have seen since he's came onto the league. I mean, anytime you could be a high-volume guy at shooting 7.7 threes per night while maintaining the efficiency of plus 40% from downtown, absolutely incredible. And he's also averaging just over 16 points a game throughout 550 career NBA games. If you guys don't know, Buddy Hield, he's just a pure shooter. Like, this guy can get it done, whether it's catch and shoot, pull-up jumpers, no matter what it is. Buddy Hield is a pure bucket getter, and I've loved his game even dating back to Oklahoma. I mean, he was fantastic during that one March Madness run. He was dropping 30 points a night, it felt like, and he was one of the more polarizing college basketball players that we have seen. But his advanced stats, we'll go a little deeper here. This is actually from last season. Catch and shoot, 42% catch and shoot guy, always fantastic. But that pull-up three number is sitting at 43.8%. Unreal. I mean, that is disgusting that you can hit the pull-up three at damn near 44%. And then from the free throw line down, the less than 10 feet field goal percentage, he does sit at 57. Now, specifically his fit with the Chicago Bulls. Listen, the Bulls definitely still have a need for a pure shooter. Listen, I've liked what they've done in the offseason by sort of addressing that need, but I definitely still think there is a need. And if you take a look at the roster overall, like, Buddy Hield almost fits an archetype of player and that the Bulls don't really have. Like, the Bulls are extremely guard heavy. We know this with, Caruso, Ayo, Javon Carter, like especially Levine and DeRozan. But I think Buddy Hield, yes, he is more of a two guard. He could play some three, which I do think the Bulls could use, specifically coming off the bench. Listen, I like this Bulls roster, but they still don't have a guy where it's like, oh, if he gets hot, watch out. The only really guy that they have right there is like Levine and DeRozan, but those are your star players. But in terms of a role player, they don't really have that. But I'll ask you guys, I'll make this a pinned comment on today's video. Should the Bulls trade for Buddy Hield? Let me know your thoughts. I'll be getting into a trade package and just my thoughts on all of it in a second, but I want to get you guys involved. T for trade, P for pass. Go answer today's pinned comment. I would do it. Maybe it's a little selfishly of me. I've just been a fan of Buddy Hield, since dating back to his days when he was a Sooner at Oklahoma, but he was one of my more fun players to watch. So I think I would pull the trigger on a Buddy Hield trade, but what would that trade package look like? We'll get into that here in a second, but I first want to give a huge shout out to our new sponsor here, Prize Picks. Can't believe that we actually were able to land them, and I'm super excited to tell you about our new sponsor here at the Bulls Report, Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the largest independently owned daily fantasy sports platform in North America. And it is the easiest and most exciting way to play DFS. It's just you against the numbers. And if you guys go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. Instead of battling versus thousands of other players, including pros and sharks, you just select two or more players, pick more or less on their projected stats, and place your entry. Prize Picks is the most fun I've had, winning up to 25 times my money this football season. Quick withdrawals, easy gameplay, and an enormous selection of players and stat types are what makes Prize Picks, the #1 daily fantasy sports app. And guys, we got Monday Night Football tonight, and this is what I'm rolling with. And you guys can either ride me or you guys could fade me. I decided to go DeAndre Swift more than 36.5 rushing yards tonight. He absolutely dominated last night on Thursday Night Football versus the Minnesota Vikings. I think he's going to continue his hot streak, and I'm going more than 36.5 yards on the ground for him. Staying on the ground here with Baker Mayfield. I'm actually going more than an 11.5 rushing yards for my man Baker. I think he's going to get it out of the pocket tonight. He's going to be using his legs to pick up some key first downs. Then also got to ride with my guy Matthew Stafford. I'm going more than 253.5 passing yards tonight. So, hey, you guys can take advantage of this and also get set up with Prize Picks. If you guys head to prizepicks.com/CLNS, I can't believe I've gone this long without using Prize Picks. It's honestly made the viewing experience so much better. So one last time, go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. Overall, let's talk about the Bulls, kind of what their #1 need is, and then we'll look at a trade package for Buddy Hield, what I think it could look like. Listen, the Bulls still need to add shooting. Last year, the Bulls, overall, they were a pretty poor to just boring offense. Like, look at their offensive ranks. If you would have told somebody, who do you think was the 4th most efficient team from the field last season, and you said the Bulls, and they told you the Bulls, I think we would all be shocked. So you may be saying, well, how are the Bulls 22nd in points per game, but they shoot the 4th most efficient basketball from the field goal, or they shoot 49% from the field, which is 4th in the NBA. How does that happen? Well, you don't shoot a lot of threes, and that was the biggest issue with the Bulls last year, because you still shot, pretty much middle of the pack from downtown last season, but it's the points per game, sitting at 22nd. It was too much of just LaVine and DeRozan getting to their spots and just a lot of ISO basketball, hence why they're also 20th in assists per game. But yes, they did add some shooters this offseason. Javon Carter, he's one of the better three-point shooters we've had in the league. He shoots 39.7% from downtown in his career. And then also Torrey Craig. Again, his career three-point percentage is only at 34.7, but last year specifically, he did shoot over 40%. So the Bulls have addressed the shooters, or the shooting needs sort of on this roster, but in terms of a volume guy, they haven't addressed it in terms of getting a guy like a Buddy Hield, who is the definition of a pure shooter, that we have in the NBA. So what would a trade look like? This is my trade idea. I'm going to throw this out there. Lonzo Ball in a second. Now, I understand. Oh, why would anybody want Lonzo Ball? I get it. I don't know if Indiana would accept this trade. But if you could somehow get Buddy Hield for Lonzo Ball in a second, and maybe your pitch to Indiana could be, hey, listen, you guys have Halliburton right now. He is obviously your point guard of the future. But maybe once Lonzo comes back from injury, you could have one of the best point guards coming off the bench. Maybe you could fill in like a Rondo role, like what Rondo did with the Lakers back in the bubble year. Kind of be that really smart, crafty point guard, really strong point of attack defender as well. So listen, I don't hate it. Obviously, I would like this a ton because the Bulls would move off the Lonzo Ball contract. But let me know. Not if you guys would accept this trade, because I feel like most of you guys would. But do you think Indiana accepts this trade? Give me an A for accept, or give me a D for decline. Overall, I'd probably say Indiana probably says no to that deal, but you really, really never know. But thank you guys so much for watching today's edition of the Bulls Report. Listen, preseason is just around the corner. I want to go live on the channel, so if you guys want us to go live, do a little live play-by-play, have a couple beers with the guys and girls. It would be a ton of fun. So make sure you guys like today's video and also hit that subscribe button and lock us in. See y'all next time. Go Bulls.